All right, let's talk about this Leafs comeback victory with Mike Johnson from a spacious hotel suite in St. Paul, Minnesota, where he's getting set to call Wild and Habs on Thursday. So, Mike, you were there. The Leafs were not good against the Senators on Tuesday, and they were not good for the first two periods on Wednesday against this Washington Capitals team, but they come back. They find a way to win it in the third. I know it's one game, Mike, but does this tell you a little something about this team at this point?
It does, Jay. It feels bigger than just one game because you're right. Again, on Tuesday night, they were no good at all, shut out by Ottawa. And through two periods, you're thinking, here's the team that can't create offense, another low event kind of game for them, not a lot going on. And it would have been the kind of game that maybe in years past, when it wasn't going their way, the top players would deviate from the game plan and go try to do it on their own because they're talented enough to think that they can do that. But they didn't. They stayed with the game plan. They kept playing the way that Craig Berube is asking them to play it. Get it in deep, get it to the net, crash and bang, find a way to get results, and they found a way to create more offense, 18 shots in the third period, all the way into the overtime. They found a way, and a pretty nice finish by John Tavares to win the game. But I think what is telling was that they had the belief in themselves to play the system as it is designed. And even though they're having bad moments, they trust that they'll get the answers through this system, not just through their individual talent. I think that is growth and change and something we might not have seen in years past. And that's an important step for this team.
And, Mike, that should be what Leafs Nation talks about after this win. But what they will probably be talking about is the 3 goals that got called back. A lot of controversy in this one. First of all, what do you make of the way these goals are being called back? And this is happening in a bunch of games so far this season.
Yeah, so listen, if you're going to open up instant replay, it's going to happen. The game's quick. There's calls every time that are going to be questionable. So you're going to have to take time away from the play on the ice and into the review booth. So if you're going to do that, the least you want to do is make it quick, right? Whether you put a shot clock on it of 90 seconds or you have more people work in the review office. So make it faster. That would be step one. Now, in my league, Jay, whenever that starts, I would never take goals off the board on questionable reviews. If they're obvious, that's one thing. But Carlson, to me, that should have counted. Joseph Woll was barely even touched in that situation. Lorentz, that would have counted for me because, yes, he sort of nudged it forward, and that's the correct application of the rule. But I think we should maybe make the rules a little bit softer about taking goals off the boards. The one on the high stick for Matthew Nyes, some people saying it's above. It's hard for me to say that it really was, but I think just as a rule of thumb, a mentality for my review team would be, unless it's egregious, let's err on the side of offense. Let the goals count because to me, the first two, especially Lorentz and Carlson, those were not significant enough infractions to take goals off the board.
I'm starting the campaign right now to get you on the review team, buddy. It'd be so cool. I mean, we don't want to lose you here.
I don't need any more jobs, Jay.
I know.
I'm all taken care of. I have no more time on my calendar.
That's true. You do have a lot of jobs. Hey, you know who I've been impressed with, Mike, other than you? John Tavares. What a weird summer for him, right? He gives up the captaincy. He's such a pro about it. He comes out the beginning of this season, 14 points, 4 goals in his last 4 games. I love the way he's playing. My question for you is, do you feel like a contract extension is coming sooner rather than later? And if so, Mike, what does that contract look like for you in terms of term and AAV?
So I don't think it's coming sooner rather than later, Jay, because there's no need. I think the Leafs know that John Tavares wants to stay in Toronto. They're certainly not going to trade him this year. So you have until the end of the year. He will look to return to Toronto first and foremost because he's so set in here. So I don't think there's a rush to get it done. I don't think the dollar value is going to fluctuate very much with a good or bad performance down the stretch. So I think they can wait to the deadline, post-deadline, to next summer. But when the deal gets done, I think he's going to get around probably 3 years, between $5 and $6 million. And he'll deserve that. You look at the points he puts up, and I know he may be declining. But 50, 60, 70 points, 25, 30 goals, that is worth $7, $8, $9 million a year. He's going to be getting $5 million for 3 years, and he'll take it because he wants to stay in Toronto. He wants to finish his career here. And what we've learned through the first quarter of the season that they've played so far, he's still by far Toronto's best option to be the second line center. And if they ever can get, whether it's Fraser Minton or someone else, to take that second line spot, how good would he be in the third line role? And in 3 years, when the cap's $100 million or something close to it, having a third-line center that gets 50 points and makes $5 million will not be too onerous. So 3 years, $5.25 million.
I like it. I love that argument from you. You should have been a lawyer, Mike. Leafs now on a 5-game win streak against the Capitals dating back to January 2023. Enjoy that room service, pal.